Okay, I recorded this at work, so there's a bunch of background noise. So I used an AI tool to take it out. So some of the words are a little hard to understand, so you might have to read the captions. And I made the video about the butterfly effect, how the universe is your own universe, and how it's a little bit different than I remember learning it from. When I think of the butterfly effect, I think of Ray Bradbury, but I know that there's the movie and other things that came out after the fact. So it's a little bit different than I remember hearing it as a kid, but the concept is basically everybody has their own universe. This is how you make your universe your own universe, and how you change it to be how you want the universe to be, because it is your universe. Everybody has their own universe. We all just kind of dance in and out of each other's universe. And that's basically what reality is. It's like a dance between all of these other people. So that is what this video is about. Enjoy.
From the moment you are born, you are in your own universe. You're in your own universe. It is your universe. Your decisions change. And the moment you have autonomy, which admittedly, you don't have very much ability when you're young to build your universe as you like it, but the older you get, your universe changes your reality. So this is my universe. And you might look at me and say, of course we're in the same reality. We are not in the same reality. Even if we are sitting there drinking coffee across from each other, enjoying the day, we are in a completely different reality. Let me explain. In your reality, you might have chosen to have oatmeal and toast for breakfast, while I chose something else, right? But you had an option. You could have had fruit, you chose oatmeal. You could have decided to blow me off and not have coffee with me, but you chose to come have coffee with me. Those two choices in and of themselves set you on different trajectories that you do not realize. If you had chosen to have fruit, the time it would have taken you to cut up the fruit would have made you run a little bit behind. And because you ran a little bit behind, maybe you ended up, a chain of events went off because of that. And because that chain of events went off, maybe you narrowly avoided a car accident that would have crippled you for the rest of your life. And all that months and months and years of heartache and whatever happened in your life, all because you chose to have fruit instead of oatmeal. But you didn't. You chose oatmeal. So that means that your life is now you sitting in front of me having coffee. And you think that you're in the same reality as me. But in my reality, there was a totally different set of reactions that would have happened because of the different choices that I made in my day. And you have millions and millions of these decisions, and each one of those choices sets your person, I'm just going to call it an avatar, the body that your consciousness inhabits, because the consciousness is outside of you, right? So you think you're making these decisions, your consciousness that does not reside within you is making these decisions, right? So because of the decisions that you made, you do not realize how much your reality is changed and completely relies on these set of circumstances that you have created for yourself. So your whole reality is in fact curated by a billion decisions that you make over your lifetime. And if you were to be able to go into the multiverse, you could go into multiverses where, like Alexander the Great never existed. You could go into multiverses where Jesus never existed and therefore Christianity doesn't even exist. You could go into universes where you wore purple instead of blue today. That is as, ridiculously so similar, except you realize that you're in the upside down world and little things are changed. And we call those little things, a lot of times when people recognize those little things, we call them Mandela effects, right? And I have listened to physicists discuss Mandela effects literally not just as some weird it is a weird thing, right? But they're discussing it because it's interesting and because they understand it. So when you think about your day, you have to go about your business with the understanding that this is your reality. Anyone trying to tell you that you need to live someone else's life, they are coming from the perspective of their own reality. They might have your best interests in mind, but they aren't living in your universe. They are living in their own universe. They are living in their own reality. That is why even the most rational, logical advice can, if you take it, might have the opposite effects to what you expect. Instead of having good reactions because you took good advice, you might end up, if it feels wrong, it's wrong for you, right? And that has been my fucking problem for a long time, is that I did not take my own advice. I took the advice of people around me because I was a people pleaser, right? Because I had been told for like in so many words throughout my whole life from however many people that I had to act right, do different things and whatever. You know, it's masking. But the point is that my reality is a direct reflection of my, I don't want to call it cowardice, but my inability to live my life for myself. I was living my life for people in different universes than my own. So, what does this mean? It means that this is your fucking life. Make it a good one. Live it how you want to live it, not how other people want you to live it. And you'll make tons of mistakes. Your whole life might be a fucking mistake, but it'll be your mistake. So, do with it what you want. And do not let anyone tell you that nothing is possible, because anything's possible. But it's not possible right away. You have to work for it. I think that we've heard this our whole fucking lives, right? And yet realistically, there's a whole bunch of people who are there to try to help you. But their help is going to be stuck in a paradigm that is, they're going to tell you things that are, most likely to try to help you out the best that you can in a world that they say you can't change. Except we understand now that the Mandela effect does work. So it actually does change things. You have a direct response, a direct effect on the whole universe with every decision that you make. Just like everyone else has a direct effect on the whole universe that they live in with their actions and their responses. So in one universe, you might make a decision on shaky ground and it might kick you in the ass. But in another universe, that same decision might be the catalyst event to lead you to the life that you want to lead. So what I'm saying is, again, make the life that you want to make, because eventually one of those decisions will lead to that catalyst event. The whole practice makes perfect thing, totally legit. That is making the same choice, making the same decision to live the life that you want to live over and over again until it fucking works for you. That is what that is. So, yeah, that's my advice. Just live the life that you want. Be the person that you want to be. Even if it lands you in the worst place possible, it will eventually, the universe, if you have enough faith in it, you believe in the universe enough, will capitulate enough to your demands. It might not look how you want it to look. That's the thing. It's going to look like a backwards version of what you asked for. But it'll be what you asked for. So, yeah, there you go. Anyway, have a nice day.